Hey guys, if it's crazy,
All right, go ahead. Go now.
hit me. Wait.
Get out of there! Oh my God!
Hey guys, welcome to the Family Mess. I'm Noah, and have a nice day.
Good God!
I love the Family Mess.
Oh,
Oh my God!
oh,
You got Ian. You got Ian.
Welcome to the Family Mess Podcast. I'm your host, Ian, and welcome to episode 30. We've decided to do things just a little differently for episode 30 and to give you guys our favorite episodes throughout the past year. It's been a pretty good year, and we thought we'd do something nice for you guys, so please listen and let us know what you think about it. We're going to end season 1 on a good note, and we hope you guys really enjoy this. Thank you. In this episode, Natalie and Ian talk about Dave Ramsey and how they really were trying to do good, but somehow they didn't get it right. And this is Natalie and Ian having a conversation about it.
People go to their jobs and they don't speak up and they're not honest about things because they're afraid. I didn't want to have to be afraid. I don't have, my job is not like that at all, but I've just seen that in other places. So I don't want to have to be afraid. I want to be able to just live and be free. So if for some reason, which I still like my job, I've been there forever. If for some reason I didn't like it anymore and I wanted to make a change in my life, I wouldn't have all these bills holding me back. That was like my big motivation as well.
I know.
Was freedom.
You talked to me enough about it.
Yes, freedom, because I felt trapped. I felt trapped.
I'm the same as you. I felt the exact same way, but I just gave up a long time. And I'm like, I'm just going to work on trying to pay. But once I was with you, once we had an opportunity to pay it off, I was with you 100%. I'm like, I'm free. We can be free. You actually talked me into it.
Yeah. And it was a good feeling while it lasted.
Oh.
So again, the first thing we didn't do was listen to Dave when he says to really practice.
I should have stuck to my guns. I should have stuck to my damn guns at the time.
We haven't even gotten to that part, Ian.
Oh, God.
So we're on the part where Dave, he's the first mistake we made was not following the strict budget and not really doing it for long enough. We followed it some, but we didn't do it long enough doing the strict budgeting and, rice and beans and the whole thing, the sacrifice part. We didn't do the sacrifice and have the discipline that we should have had at the beginning. That was bad mistake number 1. Number 2, Dave always talks about don't borrow from parent or family. Don't do business with your family as much as possible. Because if you do, dinner doesn't taste the same on Thanksgiving, right? If you owe your family money, it doesn't taste the same on Thanksgiving. And I let my brother, which I love my brother to death. I really do. I dearly love him.
Tried.
And I knew in my heart that I should not have done what I did.
I was bullied into this. Bullied.
Well, you were persuaded. So
Persuaded.
Ian was
choice.
right. Ian was right. He was right in this instance because we ended up doing a deal with family.
I told him, I don't feel good about this.
We bought a house. But the thing was, if we had followed Dave Ramsey's rules, we would have been better off. So we got to baby step 1, we got the $1,000. We got the baby step 2, we paid off all of our debt. But baby step 3 is to save the 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, we never actually. I think we were starting that,
of
but
emergency fund, right? But we didn't have that. And he said, never buy a house if you don't have the emergency fund. That's like his thing. That's why there's a baby steps. So, right?
No, that's true.
So buying a house is in 4, 5, and 6.
So you won't even buy. If we would have stuck with that, we'd have never even bought the house because we didn't get that 6 months yet.
Because if anything happens, because he always says Murphy comes in.
That's
Murphy.
true.
Murphy, he always shows up.
Yeah, that's true.
The water heater breaks, the septic tank overflows.
True. Everything.
Something, car dies, car crash. Something always happens in life, and Murphy comes in at the wrong time.
Yep. Welcome to episode 14 of The Family Mess. I'm your host, Ian. This is my wife and co-host, Natalie. The Family Mess, the podcast about life with kids and all things adulting. Let's talk. So, Natalie, today we have a special guest into our lovely studio, your niece, Dakiria. Welcome, Dakiria, to the Family Mess podcast.
Hey.
I wish I had an applause button, but I don't have one.
We can cheer. Woo! Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
We figured since we got the show about the family mess, we should have a family guest. So this is our first guest.
I'm so happy to have her today. I really am. Dakiria, I'm glad you're here. to do a recording with us. You've heard about how popular we are, and we have thousands of followers.
Why you laugh when you say thousands? Dang, we got followers.
He's speaking into existence.
I have to. See, Dakira knows what I'm talking about.
We're new, but we got followers. I got people that like the show.
Dakira knows what I'm talking about. I'm speaking it into existence. So, yes. Thank you, Dakira.
Proclaim it and claim it.
Thank you, Dakira,
Ask,
for being
believe,
positive.
and receive, bro.
Natalie's trying to hate on me already. So today's episode, we wanted to talk about first our Christmas this year spent with family. Dakira, how was your Christmas this year?
Dakira didn't get to go with us.
I did it, and I wish I did.
Listen, I wish we were going back this year.
Next year.
I'm telling you, if you would have came this year, I have never had this much fun, and I hate to admit it because Natalie's family is crazy, right? They're all crazy.
Crazier than his.
No, my family just doesn't talk. They just don't talk. They're not crazy, but we're
not crazy in a bad way. So stop saying crazy because it doesn't sound right. We are just organized confusion, and we just talk a lot, and everyone's opinionated. But we're not crazy because there's no beef.
You can call it whatever you want to, but but I had the greatest time this year at their house. I mean, we talk crap to each other.
Well, first of all, we had about, I think, 18 to 20 people in my brother's house.
Oh my God. I've never.
My aunt, aunt was there, my mom, my dad, my brothers. We had three total of my brothers.
It was amazing.
Ian, my kids, my brother's kids. Gosh, cousins.
It was amazing.
All in one house. People were everywhere. People were sleeping everywhere. Air beds in the den.
I've never had so much fun.
People on the couch. Everywhere.
I've never had so much fun at a house with that many people. I mean, at times it got a little crazy, but I mean, I had fun.
But the food was flowing.
Oh,
man,
the food was ridiculous.
All they did was eat. I think it's because the food was there. Everybody just ate all the damn time. I gained 5 pounds.
Not me. I didn't gain nothing.
I was gone for 11.
You didn't gain nothing.
Well, I should have gained something because I haven't worked out in like 5 months. But I just didn't. I didn't eat like I usually eat. But there was so much food there. I mean, we were up till 3 o'clock every morning?
I don't even know. 1 or 2 o'clock every morning.
That's why
every night. I know.
And
that's the worst part because it was Central Time because we're in Texas, so it's really like 3, 4 in the morning.
Well, the problem is we were up like California time because if we're going to bed at 3 or 4 in the morning, and that's 2 hours later that we're usually supposed to go to bed.
No, we were going to bed like 1 or 2, which is really more like 3.
So that would be mountain time. So that means we're still going to bed late.
Well, either way. Ugh.
So
I went fishing.
Where'd you go fishing at?
It was in the pond in Orange City. And I caught my first fish ever.
Was it a bass?
Wait a minute. How you never been fishing all these times?
You never been fishing before? You live in Florida?
Who'd you go fishing with?
It was like me, my aunt. So you know that,
that's what I was going to say. Your uncle and everything took you?
Yeah, there's like a pond right in front of their house. So the boys have fishing rods. My uncle has a fishing rod. So I was using my little cousin fishing rod. Then my uncle gave me his fishing rod too. Because I actually caught my first bass with my little cousin fishing.
In this episode of The Family Mess, we invite Natalie's cousin Jackie to the studio. And she was a riot. Actually, Jackie was one of my favorite guests on the show. And Natalie and Jackie and I discussed who should pay for their kids' education. It went back and forth between all of us, but we had a good time. Listen up. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Today we have my cousin Jackie on.
Jackie
used to live down south. She mostly grew up down in Miami.
That's right.
In the bottom.
Right, that's right. And we're both from England, remember?
Wait, I didn't know you were born in England.
I didn't know you were born in England.
I did not realize that. I didn't know your parents even lived in England.
Derek had pushed me into the doorknob and I got a
that was way before my time.
Oh my God, I don't remember that.
I know you and Derek went back to oh my goodness.
You have a picture of a knot on your head?
Kevin, yeah. I still have a little
child. Oh my God, Derek put a knot on your head?
Yeah, Derek is my brother and Kevin. Yeah, those are my older brothers. But they could be my dad though. They're so much older than me.
Yeah, you got your family has.
Yeah, I'm 43 and he's like something.
Their brothers could be her dad.
Derek is not that old.
He is.
He's 60.
Well, we're not the same age.
No, you're not the same age.
Derek's old.
Derek is like 60.
Really?
Yeah. He don't look 60, but he like 60 years old.
Is he 60?
62. He was born in 62.
That doesn't make him 60.
Are you doing your math right, Natalie?
Let me check.
Oh, no, dude.
Let me get my calendar. Hold on. 2020. Minus 1962.
Oh my God.
Oh, my bad. He 58.
Oh,
my bad.
Damn.
I was close. I thought he was 60 already. Oh, okay. Well, make sure we
I think he looks older because he has a lot of weight on him.
He does not look older. he doesn't look 60.
No, he doesn't look 58, but that's
doesn't look
okay.
58 either. Because
No, he doesn't.
But I didn't know,
Black
Jackie,
don't crack.
that you were born in England. Were you born in England? Or were you
I was
born in?
born in London.
Yes, audience, I love you guys.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know we had the same path.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, Uncle Sonny. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
My-
I'll accept that because it's
You
your
gotta put that on
phone.
vibrate, Jackie.
Oh yeah, let me do that.
You on the radio.
Nobody ever calls me. I mean,
That's how it works, though. When nobody calls to you, don't want it. Nobody to call.
That's because you're famous. You're
I'm a
famous this
power
morning.
off.
That's right.
Power off.
I know that phone's always on.
Vibrate.
That phone's always on.
Power off. You guys have my undivided attention.
And then you have one son.
I do have one phenomenal son.
Yes, I remember.
Julian Clark.
Yes.
Wait, Jackie, you a helicopter parent? I can't. You're a semi-helicopter
Hell yeah,
parent.
you're a
aren't you?
helicopter parent.
Well, I
Don't lie.
am getting over that. I'm like really just thinking about all the money that I'm spending now that
Oh,
I
man.
should be using for my plastic surgery. So,
But you
yeah,
are nurturing
I'm
his.
getting
You're nurturing him. He
his
does a lot of
dream.
things.
Yeah, I'm
Her
trying to
son's
support him.
very diverse, and I see him golfing, and
But you know
and
what?
he's in.
It's good to see that he's so diverse, and even in the sports that he does, he's really good at the basketball. But when you see
He
him
does.
doing
He plays piano.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, playing the piano will get you a lot of ass when you get older.
That's what
Am I
keep
lying?
trying to tell him. I keep trying
Jackie,
to tell
am I
him
lying?
that.
Does he like playing piano? Does he
He
enjoy
does.
it? That's
Yeah,
good.
he
I wish
does.
I had gotten mine
Because the girls
started.
don't expect it. They'll see a basketball guy coming up,
Exactly.
and he'll see a piano and sit down, and all of a sudden, he'll start.
But the point that I'm making is if you're taking out a loan, like we know how much the loans can balloon
Yes.
over time.
Correct.
Our kids are not in a financial position where they can pay these loans off in a reasonable time. I mean, I remember Barack Obama just paid off his loans while he was in office.
Yeah, he took out one of those crazy loans.
Right.
But
He went to Harvard
So-
and.
but it paid,
Right.
but it paid off for him though.
Yeah, it did pay off for him.
That's what I'm saying. Usually, when your choices in college will determine how fast you're going to pay off that loan.
Right.
It really does. I mean, even this loan crisis going on right now. Natalie and I had a discussion about this, and we're like, people just want forgiveness for these loans. And I understand, but I'm like, well, at some point there was a decision made to take out a loan to go to school because you
Right.
wanted to advance whether your education or learn something
Right.
else. But you still got to find a way to pay the money back.
Right.
There's
And
got to be a.
I think they should have to pay it back, but it needs to be reasonable because
I
there are
agree.
a lot of additional fees that are,
Yep.
that they incur over the life of the loan. You should not have to pay. You should not be paying a student loan back for 20 years.
I agree.
That's
to a point.
ridiculous.
Well, there's different reasons why it ends up taking that long. One, because the government lets you forbear, they let you defer, they let you do all these things. 'Cause I had loans. We just finally paid ours off. What's that? From 2001 until 3 years ago?
Yeah.
We just paid it off. And
That's a mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
well, because we were in financial situations once we had kids where we
Right.
couldn't pay anymore.
Right.
I couldn't pay as much.
It was the
Right.
kids.
So-
it was the
so we
kids.
kind of-
They're
So-
way overrated.
Right, but,
It
but what happened was with the system allows you to.
In this episode, Natalie invites her niece, Artisha, to the studio. And boy, this girl has stories. Natalie's always loved her so much and has given her advice. But listen to what Artisha tells us. Some of it's sad, but Natalie was there for her to support her the entire time. But listen to her perspective and what she told us on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to give yourself a pat on the back and know that you've done a lot. You've grown a lot as a person and you've come a long way and you have, many more years ahead of you to figure out the rest and to make it happen. So it's not the end of the road. This is just the beginning.
And see, one little piece of advice that I will throw out there
Yes.
for, a young person to take is don't feel like you have to have it all together right now. 'Cause it's like I'm 26 and I see I always envision my 30,
26.
35-year-old self.
Damn.
And I'm like, this is I should be here right now. This is what versus, setting little goals and achieving them to get to the bigger goal. 'Cause I am big on beating self up for not being exactly where I want to be right now. But at the same time, I'm somewhat headed in the right
You're doing better than the
Direction.
majority of
You're in the
people.
right direction.
I think you're
Yeah.
fine.
So
And especially you have self-awareness. That's always a huge thing. A lot of people don't have self-awareness. And when
Yeah.
you have awareness of yourself